You've been doing everything right, hitting the gym, watching your calories, drinking your water, but the moment your head hits the pillow, you feel like all that progress just stops. Like your body clocks out the same time you do. What if I told you that's completely wrong, and that what you eat in those final hours before sleep could actually determine how much fat your body burns while you're unconscious? Stay with me, because this changes everything about how you think about nighttime nutrition. Most people assume that eating before bed automatically leads to fat storage. It's one of the most repeated pieces of advice in the fitness world. Stop eating after 8. Don't touch food before sleep. Your metabolism slows down at night, so anything you eat turns straight to fat. Here's the problem with that advice: it's outdated, oversimplified, and it's actually working against you. Your body doesn't shut down when you sleep. In fact, during those 7 to 9 hours, your system is running some of its most critical repair and recovery processes. Your muscles are rebuilding, your hormones are rebalancing. Growth hormone, which is one of the most powerful fat-burning hormones in the human body, is released in its largest daily surge during deep sleep. So the real question isn't whether you should eat before bed. The real question is what you should eat to support and enhance all of that overnight activity. Let's start with the single most important thing you can eat before bed to increase overnight fat burning: cottage cheese. I know, not the most glamorous answer, but hear me out because the science behind this is genuinely impressive. Cottage cheese is loaded with a protein called casein. Unlike whey protein, which digests quickly and spikes amino acid levels fast, casein is a slow digesting protein. It forms a gel-like substance in your stomach that releases amino acids gradually over the course of 4 to 7 hours. That means while you're sleeping, your body is getting a steady stream of protein to fuel muscle repair, and more muscle equals a higher resting metabolic rate, which equals more fat burned around the clock. A study published in the British Journal of Nutrition found that consuming protein before sleep significantly improved muscle protein synthesis overnight compared to not eating anything. And here's where it gets really interesting for fat loss specifically. When your body is actively repairing and building muscle tissue, it requires energy to do that. That energy comes from stored fat. So eating casein protein before bed doesn't cause fat storage. It actually redirects your body toward fat burning while maintaining muscle mass. Now, if cottage cheese isn't your thing, there are other casein-rich options. Greek yogurt is an excellent alternative. A small bowl of plain full-fat or low-fat Greek yogurt before bed gives you that same slow-release protein effect. Just avoid the heavily sweetened varieties because the sugar spike can interfere with your sleep quality and disrupt the hormonal environment that supports overnight fat burning. Speaking of hormones, let's talk about something that most fat loss content completely ignores: your cortisol levels overnight. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and elevated cortisol while you sleep is one of the fastest ways to increase fat storage, particularly around the midsection. So, what you eat before bed can actually influence how your body manages cortisol during sleep. Foods rich in magnesium are incredibly helpful here. Magnesium has been shown to lower cortisol levels and improve sleep depth and quality. Better sleep quality directly enhances growth hormone release, which circles right back to fat burning. Some of the best magnesium-rich bedtime foods include a small handful of almonds, pumpkin seeds, or even a piece of dark chocolate. Yes, a small square of dark chocolate before bed, specifically varieties that are 70% cacao or higher, contains both magnesium and a compound called theobromine, which can support deeper sleep stages without the caffeine effect of milk chocolate. Now let's address the elephant in the room. What about carbohydrates? You've probably been told to cut carbs at night completely, but this is another area where the nuance really matters. A small serving of complex carbohydrates before bed can actually support fat burning by promoting serotonin and melatonin production, both of which are critical for deep restorative sleep. We're not talking about a bowl of pasta or a plate of fries. We're talking about something like a small portion of oats, a slice of whole grain toast, or even a couple of rice cakes. These foods cause a gentle rise in blood sugar that facilitates the transport of tryptophan, an amino acid, across the blood-brain barrier. Tryptophan then converts to serotonin and melatonin, deepening your sleep and optimizing the hormonal cascade that burns fat overnight. The winning combination that many people don't realize exists is pairing a small amount of casein protein with a small amount of complex carbohydrates about 30 to 60 minutes before sleep. Think cottage cheese with a few whole grain crackers, Greek yogurt with a small handful of granola, This combination supports muscle preservation, promotes deep sleep, optimizes hormonal output, and keeps your metabolism active through the night. There are also a few things you absolutely want to avoid before bed if fat loss is your goal. Alcohol is at the top of that list. Even a single drink before sleep suppresses growth hormone release significantly, disrupts sleep architecture, and causes your body to prioritize metabolizing the alcohol over burning fat. The fat burning essentially pauses until all the alcohol is cleared from your system. High sugar foods have a similar disruptive effect on sleep quality and can cause insulin spikes that shift your body into storage mode rather than burning mode. And large meals in general, regardless of macros, put your digestive system into high gear, which raises core body temperature and makes it harder to reach the deep sleep stages where growth hormone peaks. Let's also talk about a drink that can dramatically support overnight fat burning: chamomile tea or tart cherry juice. Tart cherry juice in particular has been studied extensively for its ability to naturally raise melatonin levels and reduce exercise-induced inflammation. That combination means better recovery, deeper sleep, and a stronger hormonal environment for fat burning. A small glass, about 4 to 6 ounces, roughly 45 minutes before bed, is all you need. Chamomile tea works through a compound called apigenin, which binds to receptors in the brain that promote relaxation and reduce the cortisol response, again creating that optimal fat-burning sleep state. Here's what this all comes down to. The old rule of not eating before bed was never really about the food itself. It was poorly targeted advice meant to stop people from binge eating junk food late at night, which obviously does lead to fat storage. But the blanket application of that rule to all food at all times has been keeping millions of people from a genuinely powerful fat loss window that happens every single night. Your body runs on roughly a 24-hour cycle, and the overnight period is not a metabolic dead zone. It is an active recovery and repair phase that, when properly supported with the right nutrition, becomes one of your most effective fat-burning tools. So tonight, about 30 to 60 minutes before you go to sleep, try having a small bowl of cottage cheese or Greek yogurt, maybe a few whole grain crackers, a small handful of almonds, and a cup of chamomile tea or a small glass of tart cherry juice. You're not just satisfying hunger. You're giving your body the precise nutritional environment it needs to burn fat, preserve muscle, optimize hormones, and wake up tomorrow leaner and more recovered than if you had eaten nothing at all. If this shifted how you think about nighttime nutrition, drop a comment below and tell me what you're going to try tonight. And if you want to know the other half of this equation, the morning habits that lock in your overnight fat-burning results, that video is right here. Don't skip it, because this strategy only works completely when you combine both ends of the cycle.